Good evening. Welcome to the Gooner booth. We're back again. It's the Champions League, Club Brugge. Bruges? Am I saying that right? With Belgium accent on. Arsenal's 5 wins, 14 goals scored, 1 conceded. Doing well in Champions League. Haven't lost a game yet. Club Brugge, 4 points from the last 5. 1 win, 1 draw. The rest are loss. They're sitting 26. I'm on the 36 in the group stages in the league. So, good evening, gents. This should be a straightforward game, no?
Yeah, well, good evening, and firstly, thank you both for stepping in yesterday. It's been, as you know, a crazy time at the moment for posties like myself. So thank you, boys, for stepping in and doing the video. Yeah, I'm going to pass it over to Dave anyway, but I just want to thank you both first for stepping in last night. Appreciate it, boys.
That's fine. I mean, with Dave still managed to talk for 40 minutes, so we filled up the space.
Yeah, that's it.
Dave needs to get his opinion on that on the old Aston Villa game. I don't forget because it was just me that signed on for the reaction, and Dave had the floor, and I think there was a lot to talk about, and there probably is a lot still to talk about in this stream. But yeah, go on, Wayne. Do you want to start us off? Before we get going, guys, please like and subscribe. Get your comments in. We're here for a good 30 minutes. Let us know what your thoughts are of the game ahead. Wayne, over to you, mate.
Yeah. Cheers. And again, reiterated, we appreciate it, guys. Please comment and let us know. You know, we're Gooners like yourselves. Anyone watching, just comment. We appreciate it. Listen, I don't want to waffle too much on the Aston Villa game because I know you and David spoke about it yourself. Obviously, stepped in when me or David couldn't turn up on the post reaction of that game. I just think that, in my opinion, to put a pin in that quickly and move on to the game, I think our midfield looked absolutely knackered, boys. And a point you were saying in the stream, and I'm sure you guys covered it last night. And again, I'm sorry, I've caught up little bits of it, but again, working it's crazy, mate. But the midfield was knackered, boys, and he's got to in this game tomorrow against Club Brugge. He's got to rotate heavily. He's got to rely on those fresh legs. I don't care if you've got to play a 16, 17-year-old if you're going to rest some people. Obviously, I don't think he will, but there's a few boys that might be coming on the plane or coming on a trip over there, however they get there. And the bench could have a couple of youngsters on it, boys. But yeah, it's one of them. I'm worried the context of say you have a poor result, shall we say? You want momentum to build again. We've had that 18-game unbeaten run. We lost 95th minute. It happens. It happened. We're not going to win every game, boys. But we need to start again, and we need a positive start. But I think some of these boys just need to have a day off. A couple of days off. And get those fresh legs, and you'll see that in my starting 11. But yeah, it's vitally important. I think just go there. If it's a draw, boys, and it's 1-1, it's 0-0, it's a frustrating game. Listen, we got 5 wins. This should be just one of them games where you give players that need fresh legs or like Gyökeres. Gyökeres needs to start, boys. I know you few boys covered, and again, please, I do apologise, and my apologies to you both. Gyökeres was obviously coming on and people have been battering him. This guy's, again, been off. He was just at Burnley, he hit a level and he got that injury and he's trying to build it back up again. So I think this is a vitally important game to play a player like that. Madueke to have another run out. Martinelli as well, boys. But this is, again, put Aston Villa behind you and start a new run.
Yeah. Well, I totally agree with everything Wayne said. I'd just like to say good evening to you all.
Good evening, my friend.
Yeah, I think changes are a must. As Wayne said, a draw, even a defeat, wouldn't be the end of the world. You never want our team to lose, but if they did lose, I think we've got Inter Milan away, and then we've got the team
loses or something, Dave.
Yeah, they're a new side. I've not heard of much about them, but they're at home, so we should stomp them about 4-0, even with our B side. I'm sorry, we should do. So I think we've got them 3 points, and I think it was like 15 points got you through last year. in the Champions League. And also, when you look at it, Liverpool finished top, and they pulled PSG because PSG just scraped through. And obviously, PSG went on to. You did say that previous.
I said that last night. I said it does. I feel like this is one of them games where I generally think we should just fucking
totally change the whole 11.
Literally, I was saying yesterday.
The whole 11. The whole 11.
Don't even let
I totally agree with Gyökeres.
Timber,
even a little bit Odegaard to play him for like the first half. Give him a few more minutes.
I would not. I think Timber, Declan Rice, Bukayo Saka.
I don't think Declan's
don't even let him on the plane.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not. I mean, I've seen it. In terms of that, definitely. I think at the moment, no, Tone. I'd love to Timber, unless he's going to. I was trying to think this again. You guys, I don't want to step all over that because you're going to show the viewers and you yourself about the starting 11. So you and Dave obviously can break it down and the viewers can have a look. But I was just thinking to myself, Timber needs a rest, but we haven't got a right-sided centre back of any kind of level. One thing I want to say that I was also thinking about, and again, I don't think he's going to do it, boys, unless you're going to play Zubimendi in the midfield again, which I think he needs a rest as well. Norgard can cover at centre half if at an emergency sort of thing. He's defensive mid, but he can play there. Could he potentially go? You know what? And Calafiori's not fit not available for the Wolves game. He's suspended.
Yeah, so he probably starts this one to Friday.
So I would say start him. I've picked if I picked Nkapie, I think I'm going what he might think, but I think Calafiori should start. I think maybe rest Calafiori, Nkapie. But yeah, boys, it's as you just said. As you know, I'm not stepping on your point. It's exactly right, boys. This for me. This game is not important. All I love to hear is the Champions League intro music. You know what I mean? It's a fantastic night. Not Champions League nights under the lights. It's what we want. We've wanted for years. We've got it now. Second year, and it's second successive year playing there now. Second or third, boys? Sorry.
Third. I think that might be third, actually.
It's the third now. I do apologise, guys. Again, you'll have to bear with me, mate. It's a rough time right now. But you know what I mean? We this is what we live for, is what my point being. But for me, this isn't a game I want my big guns playing. I do not want to see Saka come off the bench. Rice ain't coming on the plane, as you said, David. 100%. Leave him at home.
Let him have a few days off.
Let him have a night with his kiddie. Watch it on TV. Rest with the missus. I don't want to see him. I don't want Saka to come on the pitch. And if there's a way you can rest Timber, I've put it in my lineup to obviously, as you guys have seen anyway. But I think he should be rested personally. But I don't know if he's got the options currently. But yeah, I'll agree with your Tone as well, mate. He's vitally important. Timber, as well. Timber is vitally important to be rested, definitely. And yeah, Rice shouldn't play. Saka shouldn't play. Give the other boys a chance. But yeah, Trossard again, boys, as you said, Dave, in the previous stream. Come on, 30 minutes, done the business. He's injured again.
Off again.
And lastly for me, before I pass it back over to you boys, Jesus has been registered because Max Dowman's injured, boys.
Right. So he's
under 21s. Man United under 21s. He got injured, so they've swapped Dowman for Jesus. So Jesus is available tomorrow. So I think that'll be vitally important. He gets minutes as well.
Yeah, we got to watch that. They don't
he's a Champions League player for me, Dave.
Chamberlain.
Have we seen him training with Arsenal?
Yeah, as I say, I can't remember. I don't remember. He left Liverpool, didn't he? I don't know where he was playing, but
he went to didn't it Besiktas?
That's it.
From Turkey.
That's it. Well done, Tone. Well done. Good research there, mate. Yeah, I knew it was one, but Dave released him. Listen, Arsenal boys do it all the time, so I wouldn't read into it. It's just a case of him being, for me, if he's
trying to keep his training, isn't he?
If he's turned into a good centre half, though, boys. I mean, but
or a right back.
I highly doubt that. Or right back, but I highly doubt. But yeah, it's just training. But
could he potentially do a formation change to incorporate the players that we have got fit? So maybe go 3 at the back with potentially going Ben White, Calafiori, and then Nkapie. With and then obviously wing backs, but then you're looking at Lewis Skelly playing left wing back or Martinelli, and then you've got Mudweki playing right wing back. Then obviously you've got your midfielders coming in, but then when I'm thinking about it, it's the midfielders that we need to rest as well. So then we'd still be pulling in Moreno, wouldn't we? So potentially that might not be the best way to go.
That's the problem, Dave. Exactly. I mean, Moreno as well was blown out of his backside.
Yeah,
As you say,
definitely.
and I know you boys alluded to it, and Tony said as well about obviously when like at the beginning of the stream that I got to watch before. Obviously, it just hit the fan and times and parcels and God knows what else. But Moreno shouldn't have played, in my opinion, against Villa. He should have been more expressive, as Tony said. Again, it was one of them. The formation he got wrong. He'd recognise it. Eze as well was obviously he's knackered, but as you say, it's a toss up at the moment, and Tony's right again at the moment.
Thanks, mate.
You are not always right, Dave. He's not always right, but I think, like he has been saying for a while,
he's on a roll. He's on a roll.
I have to agree with exactly. I have to agree with him that I think right now, personally, you have to pick between Ødegaard in the 10 or Eze. Yeah. Eze is more expressive. He's not going to defend for you at the moment. I've said as well in the past. I thought, he could play the left role when he's knackered, like he was. He weren't going to chase Matty Cash down. No. Right now, you're negating. You don't. If you got a Supermendy in there, you need an Eze to roll to play that role. So that's why I've picked him tomorrow, because I think give him 60 minutes, bring Ødegaard on, boys. But as you said, I agree with you, Tone. I'm going to pass it back to you, mate. One or the other at the moment.
Yeah, before we get on to the starting 11 prediction, I was looking at Club Brugge's last 5 Champions League results, right? And there's a bit of a pattern that I've noticed. They're really shit away. They're really good at home, and I'll prove it to you. So on the 5th of November, they drew 3-0 with Barcelona, all right? Yeah. And Barcelona are no mugs. And then they smashed Monaco 4-1 back end of September. So that
game, the 3-0 tone, sorry to interject, their goalie had an absolute shocker, Club Brugge's goalie. If I can remember correctly, when I was watching the highlights, it just something sticking in my head that he let the ball go through his hands and right through his legs.
I remember that.
Yeah, just something's clicking in my head that's what happened on that game. They had right boo-boo, the goalie, but they played some good football actually. They was
that goes to show, that goes to tell me that they're going to be well up for this game tomorrow. So. And that then sort of tweaks into what we're going to discuss, the predicted 11. Well, Arteta be tempted to go strong because he don't want to get battered. But I don't know.
I couldn't give a shit. Like David said, he could win, lose, or draw, but I couldn't give a shit if we do get battered, because I just think we've also as well, boys. We've got Wolves. I think obviously again, the way they're playing, you can obviously allow for things, but if you see as well. It's not going to happen in one jot, but I would give Kepa the shout for the rest of the Champions League games. Now, David Raya kept how many clean sheets in this the first 5 games? Yeah, I think obviously we conceded against Bayern, and that was his only game, right? So we've got 15 points. Kepa is a more than adequate keeper. Yeah, so you should be playing. He should be getting some games, in my opinion, because we're going to need him in the League Cup. We're going to need him in the FA Cup as well. Get that guy playing a few games prior to them coming on, get him back into sort of like the way we play. But yeah, I mean, look. Sorry, Tone. Go on, mate. Go on. Sorry.
I've just spotted something, and I don't know if you've missed this or you've intentionally put this. But why and when Yeri starting in that squad for you?
Oh, toss! Oh God, Bennett. Yeah, again. But this is what I'm saying to you, boys. This is
right. We're sacking Wayne from his predictive 11 duties. We're sacking him.
Right. Yeah, Libby. During the Christmas period, I can't do it. No, listen, I'll tell you what. Viewers and yourselves, take Eze out of that squad and please I'll put Wanyeri in there.
Well, no, sorry, Ethan. We'll discuss it. Let's go.
Ethan should play, Tone, 100%. Sorry, again.
Let's go through it, right? You got a goalkeeper Kepa. We all agree on that, right? I think everyone agrees on that.
Yeah, right definitely.
Back, Benny White goes in at right back. I think we can probably agree for that. Timber and Nketiah. Now,
I think they should change.
They should change, right? I would put Calafiori in at left-sided centre half, right? Just because he's not playing against Wolves, you can afford for him to have a run out. My question would be: do we play Timber?
I don't want him to play, Tone. I really don't. I mean, we've Mosquera.
To play Ben White at centre back, like what we were saying.
I tell you what, boys.
I mean, is Thomas Partey available? We get him in the plan.
Yeah. One to look out for. He's like the smallest right back in the world, but he is quite. I mean it within respect. He looks like a decent player. There's Josh Nichols is training with
I've seen him.
He's 18 years old. I would potentially go. You know what? If you can, listen, boys. This is this is a predictive, and this is what we should make of this. This is where 3 different Gooners, my opinion, bar Ethan Wanyeri. Ethan should be in that team, and Ezra on the bench in terms of resting him. Ethan needs a game, so I apologise for that. That's my bad. But if you got Ethan Nichols, then I think Benny White should come in at right back with right centre back, with Calafiori left centre back, Nichols at right back.
I would play that Solomon right side and centre back as well, next to Calafiori.
You're not playing Ben White either, or you're playing Ben White right back?
I'd leave Ben White at right back. Right. Or play Ben White right side and centre half.
Solomon, what, the young lad? Marley Salmon, you mean?
Yeah, Salmon, that's it. Yeah, sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. But yeah, I've seen bits of him, right? And he's got he's very tall. He's very tall, and he's got very similar composure to Saliba. I know, obviously, flying a guy into a Champions League game away from home is going to be a bit nuts.
Oh, just a quick update, boys. Sorry, I did see that Saliba was training today. He was actually in training, so that looks good. That looks good for Wolves.
I don't want him again. I don't want him anywhere near this game.
No. He shouldn't play. Too early this game. This game would be too early. Even the Wolves game, I'd leave him out if we can and put him back in against Everton. We're gonna need him that away game.
What could be as I say, this is where rotation would come in. I mean, obviously it depends in the attacking sense of how you want to. I mean, because for me, Wolves are poor, but Wolves could turn up at the Emirates. You know what I mean? It's that kind of thing. People are going, "Oh, we should batter Wolves." You ain't got any right to batter any team, no matter how poor they are, because on the day they can change. But what I'd do with Saliba, if he's not going to, he obviously don't start him here, but play something close to this lineup that I've said, boys. So obviously MLS is going to have to come in. Calafiori suspended. Play that back line against Wolves, and then bring Saliba on for 30 minutes, because you're going to need him to be back up to speed. Because it's going to be a tough game away to Everton, boys. But I'll pose the question to you now, boys, and then obviously I'll let you guys answer it, because I know, Tony, you initiate a lot of it. But what do you think of the midfield? With Moreno, I don't think you got much choice, but he's more so the choices that we have at the moment are quite light and quite sparse in midfield.
Yeah.
So would you guys say you'd agree with that midfield?
I would. I'd almost be tempted, right, to see if he is going to tweak it like this, to put Calafiori at left back and throw MLS in that role. See how he gets on next to Norgard.
I'd love to, Tone. I honestly, mate, I think if he, but why not? But the thing is, everyone can see, and everyone who's watched this boy, excuse me, guys, sorry, from his youth days, knows that this guy's he played at left 8, and he's inverting from a left back position. But everyone knows that his future in this game, as the way he plays, and I've said before, I was not trying to be controversial. The way he turns players reminds me of Jack Wilshere. I'm not saying he's Jack Wilshere's level at all yet, when Jack Wilshere was fully fit. But in the midfield, he's built for that turn away and pull away from players, and he's done it. He does it at left back and inverting, boys. He's done it. We've seen it. And this boy needs all the confidence he can get, because he's looking a little bit. His confidence looks a bit shaken. It's like, look, you've got all the time in the world. You're 18 years old. Come into this Champions League game, show me what you can do. I'd be interested, but I still think he'll play on left back, Tone. But I still think he should be given a go, because we're like there, aren't we? Like, we're relying on Moreno all the time.
I think,
and you want Moreno to be your false 9 all the time, don't he?
I think Moreno can play there, because I think us benching Moreno for the Wolves game isn't going to be the end of the world, because we've got Gyökeres back. We've got Jesus can even step in. I'd almost, if I'm Arteta, to be tempted to play Jesus for 60 minutes. But I'll get the conversation me and Dave had last night, where Dave reckons he's going to be sold in January. So he's probably going to get 10 minutes here and there just to keep his value on the table.
As I say as well, boys, that him being registered, it could tell you that it's not going to be him being transferred to a European side. I think personally, if anything, he's going to go back to Brazil. But I think at this moment in time, again, as I say, I agree with the comments prior, and obviously the amount of money both him and Havertz are on. Unless Bert has got something up his sleeve, for me, I'd get him to. I want him to sign a midfielder that he's going to trust. Do you know what I mean? A midfielder that he's going to go, right, I'm going to rotate and rest, and I know that I can play him alongside. Listen as well, and I'm going on that point, so I'm done going on a tangent. But Moreno, I think he's also been kind of handicapped with resting and rotating Rice and Subamendi, because he wants his midfield free to be Subamendi, Rice, Moreno. But what's Moreno been doing? He's been playing 90-minute games up front, working his bollocks off. He's knackered. So he's had to take him off at half time. He hasn't got that option in the second half to have a fully fit third choice midfielder who's rotating with Rice and Supermendy. You know, but if certain things are going to happen, you've got to, you know, if you're going to go, oh, you know what, thanks, Jesus, that's great. You got to bring in a midfielder in because you're going to maybe need Moreno at some point to cover yet again. If Havertz, you know, Havertz is it to and froing from being fit and then he's had a niggle, he's not going to come back, you know, and you're relying on Gyökeres, you know, boys. So, yeah, I think this is a game again. It's see how it is, have a strong enough midfield. I still think, you know, Norgard and Moreno, Norgard just sit in front. Have Moreno, give him a little bit of license, you know. And again, I think it's vitally important. The likes of in 1 year in MLS played this game. So I'm sorry, boys. Don't ask me why I put Eze in there. It's a force of habit when I see that number 10 in the editing on that football site. So I apologise, but I think that's vitally important, that midfield to get Wanyeri on the ball and confident, boys.
I'm just gonna pause there. You've said to me on the editing, you just imagine Eze in that role. Would it be fair to say that you think Eze is better than Odegaard at this moment in time?
Listen, I don't want to hog the chat because you got to post some questions to Dave and yourself. So I'll be as quick as I can. But for me, I'll still maintain till I'm blue in the face that I think that Odegaard, if he can sort of like improve his defensive side of the game, that he can also be a great left eight. I've said it for the start of the season. I'd love to see him further back. I think he's more a midfielder. This is an opinion, by the way. Every Arsenal fan's entitled to an opinion, whether you boys agree. I just think he's more of a Cesc Fabregas type central midfielder. Because do you remember as well that Wenger used to put him at 10, Fabregas, and I didn't think sometimes he's okay, but he's better when he's receiving the ball a little bit deeper and dictating from deep. And the problem you have with him doing that, though, is Supermendy does the same thing. And he is a sitting midfielder, but he can dictate as well. But I think, to answer that and get straight to the point, I think Ez is more action orientated. And in that number 10, it's like you're having he needs to work a bit harder, in my opinion. He made a mistake. He was tired. But he's like having an Ozil again tone. You know what I mean? Give him the free role and let him do what he can do, and he can unlock teams. He's a fantastic footballer, and I still believe that Ez is going to have a better second half season than he is at first half. He had a fantastic game against Spurs, but I think he's a second half of the season player, but he should be our number 10 at this moment in time. And I personally think you're going to play Odegaard, you've got to play him deeper. That's my opinion at the moment, because Ez, I think, can be a better number 10, an all-action number 10. You know, Odegaard tries them silly passes all the time, and I think sometimes he might be better if he plays deeper, and he's got the left wing, the right wing dropping to him, or he's got like Eze for argument's sake, and he's not inhabiting the spaces that Zubimendi plays in as well. You know what I mean, boys? So yeah, that's my opinion. I think he's an 8. I don't think Odegaard's a 10. That's my opinion. I've always thought he's an 8.
Odegaard drops really deep. That's for me. That's why I think he changes how we play, and he makes our play very predictable. I was saying to Dave, when he gets the ball, it's, as you said, he veers to the right, doesn't he?
Always.
Right? Always. He's right, it allows your
right
position
side orientated.
Yeah, it just allows your position to double up on Saka, because and then it isolates the striker because Odegaard's nowhere near him. Whereas I think Eze will give you that. It will stay in that area. Right? Yeah, there'll be moments, and there'll be a big part of the game that he's not even involved in because he's down in that area. But I think because he does that, it gives us moments in games where we can be quite deadly. It only takes a moment to score a goal.
Can I interject here, because you're making a fantastic point, and I just want to reiterate your point, Tone, and I don't want to step all over, and I'll pass it straight back to you. But someone has said as well that he envisioned Eze as like a false 9, a false 10, if you like, you know, that kind of ghosting into the box striker, and that Eze, that's his strength. And you've just said it, Tone, that, you know, this is what we signed him for, so play him there. Surround Eze. You know, if Martinelli's fully unfit again, he's trying to get back in. You've got to play like that. Eze finds Martinelli all the time. You know what I mean? They've got a partnership brewing. You know, if you're playing alongside Saka, he's one of the best right wingers. Eze's got that's his strength, Tone. Sorry. So I think
Arteta's got to show some bottle. I think to pick one of them in the big games.
Has to be, Tone. Has to be, mate. One or the other, mate.
Yeah, let's get Dave in on this. Dave, what's your thoughts on Eze or Odegaard? Who do you think should be starting?
I always do believe that Odegaard should play left 8. I do think that, especially in this game, I would swap Moreno for Odegaard, and I'd play
That's a
Eze
good shout, Dave. Yeah, that's another one.
Wanyeri. I would say I would swap. I would keep Eze or Wanyeri in the number 10, and I would swap Moreno for Odegaard at left.
Yeah.
Because what it looks like to me with this midfield, which is on the screen, it's only predictive. I know it's not 100%. It doesn't always reflect what Arteta's going to do, but it looks don't look like there's much pace in the midfield there. And from what I can remember of Bruges, now you've triggered me, is that they've got a couple of nifty little wingers in their side, and they've got a couple of players that are quite quick, build ups quite quick. They're quite direct as well, from what I can remember. So generally, I think that this probably won't be too far from what he actually picks. But for me, I would want it just altered a little bit. Not very much though, Wayne. I'd say you're pretty much there. You're spot on with Medawek. Yeah, you got Gyökeres, Martinelli. Yeah, they all need to play. Norgard needs to play. MLS. Yeah, White, Kepa. You obviously Nkappi. You could maybe swap for Calafiori or play one at left back. Play MLS could come into the midfield like you're saying, boys. He's got legs. He can move around the pitch. So he's definitely got options, but we are a bit light in central midfield role. Definitely, we're one player short in central midfield because obviously, as you alluded to, Wayne, Moreno is now a striker. Havertz is now a striker. They've both been brought in as midfielders. So obviously, it's now time that we need just one more player in that midfield. And it sounds silly to say because we've got a really good squad, but obviously we have a lot of injury. So this is why we need one more player just to fill in, give everyone a little bit more rotation. We've got FA Cup starting soon. We've got obviously the rest of the Champions League, Carabao Cup still coming, Premier League games are coming thick and fast. So there's definitely going to be enough minutes for all these guys, you know. So to be honest with you, I heard another little rumour though that we're going in for Barcola from PSG. Whether or not he signs, but that's a left-sided winger. I'd be quite happy with him actually.
100%, Dave, and another one as well. I mean, there's a few sort of like rumours, boys, about the midfielders. There's he actually just signed a bloody new contract, so I'm assuming it won't happen this January. But I think he's Buadi or something from. I think it's people do apologise for the pronunciation, but he's a highly rated 18-year-old defensive midfielder, centre midfielder who's got a fantastic future ahead of him. You know, whatever happens in that regard, boys. But I mean, you got like there's rumours of Semenyo interest still there. You know, he's an Arsenal fan. He'll jump at the chance. You got sort of like now Barcola, which that's a new one for me, Dave. I appreciate you bringing that up because I've not heard that. But again,
I only see that today though, Wayne.
I mean. The thing is with that, boys, is as you say, as you've said as well, Dave, I think personally, if you're going to do something in January, then I think like a player like Jesus with his 275k wages will have to go. There is talk like with Martinelli, I still think he's still got something left in the tank, whether it be like this summer.
Definitely.
But if there's an opportunity on the market for a left winger, you know, this is not a bashing session anyway, but you know, in the summer we were talking about, you know, like having a Saka style left winger who takes the man on, cuts in, cuts out. You know, Martinelli can't take players on, but he's a fantastic player to have behind the defence, running on. He's got fantastic pace. When he gets his head on it, he can put the ball in the back of the net. You know, Trossard is a clutch player, but we you know, again, we're saying in the summer, you know, in my opinion, this team is just one world class. To put it to you, and so I can get straight to the terms of what I'm saying, boys, is we need an Alexis Sanchez in this team on the left. That kind of player. A player that's going to be bang. And that's why, as I say, Eze is a central 10. Can you imagine, just for argument's sake, put a player like Sanchez level, Eze in the 10, Saka on the right, Gyökeres up top. Don't tell me that team's not smashing player.
Do you think Rodrigo still be on the cards?
I think he's going Saudi. From what I'm hearing, I'm seeing and hearing, that his eyes are already in Saudi.
All the money. He's got the money signs in there. What it is, boys.
He's only 25. Dave, that ain't very good football now from him, though.
But you know what he's going to do, Dave? What's he say? He says 25. Say when he's about 27, 26, he'll go over there for a year, 2 years, right? And he'll come back again into Europe. A lot of these players, Dave, they're going over there, getting these 100 million a year, whatever these Saudis are playing them, getting their money, and then they're coming back over because they're actually rich beyond their wildest dreams and can play
True.
football again because
True.
they've got the money from Saudi, and a lot of them are doing it. You know,
No, it's true. It's a short career for him, but it's a
it's
hell
a
of
short
a lot.
career, but he's one of them players that if he put his mind to it, worked his socks off, he could be a quality world-class player. But he's, you know, if he's going to do that, then, you know, good luck to him, but you're wasting your career, mate, you know. But let's see, boys. I mean, but that's what I'd say is I love Trossard's clutch, and that's what you have to have a clutch player in any squad you need. Martinelli has been phenomenal, bar his injuries. That stopped him again, like he did with Gyökeres. But I still think going forward, this team needs a Saka-level left winger, and it's game over. If you know what I mean. If you can find that, boys, he was on Saka's level.
Barcola does play left, doesn't he?
Yes,
and
he
they
does,
have the other
mate. I know
guy,
Barcola's a great player.
Just a fast spanner, sorry, gents. Just a fast spanner in there, though. If you get a world-class left winger, having Odegaard playing that number 10 role, is he going to be utilised? Because Odegaard just goes to the right, he goes to the right, goes to the right. He doesn't open his body up and go. He's left-footed, which is even that is strange. He's left-footed, but he veers to the right. Is he being instructed to do that, or has he got that comfort of just going over to Saka? With Eze, he veered from both wings, and he was playing.
Anyone watched him play for Norway? Because I can't say I have. I've not watched.
No,
does he do it naturally? Is it in his game to do it?
He's very similar in his play with Norway. I don't know if someone can correct me.
Coming over to the right sort of corner of the box, putting that high cross in to the back post, which normally doesn't reach the back post at the moment. He's sort of like pillow foot at the minute, isn't he? Everything he hits is either blocked or it's scuffed or. I'm not trying to get on the guy's case because I know he's coming back from injury, but he was doing this last season as well. You know, if he's meant to be our captain and our sort of talisman, he's got to step up a little bit more. You know, he's got to stop ducking out of bloody headers. That's why he can't play left eight. Because how many times did he go up for an header and he's ducking underneath it? He ain't got the. That's the problem. Why he probably don't.
And he pulls out of challenges as well. He pulled out a few challenges.
Listen, I mean, he's a great player to have in it. I just think as this football club, if we want to evolve as well, you know, you have to have options to go, okay, look, you know, this is a game Odegaard plays. This is a game Eze plays, and stick with it. If you're not willing to put Odegaard at left eight, but the only, you know, he's not a 10 in the common sense, right? He can, in me, I think he could be better in a flat three, not a flat three, but have a, you know, like we used to play. And I reckon you should do like a Declan Rice right side, Odegaard left, and have a sitting midfielder. He is not a number 10 in the sense of what you want from him anymore. You know what I mean? He drops deep. You know, do you go right? I want to play. You know, he could redevelop himself, as I've said previously in this stream, as a deep line midfielder, boys. You know, you've got Subamendi. You could have Declan Rice. He's great at 8. He can also play at 6, but you can alternate it. Let's just look at the game model, what we got to play against certain opposition, and realise that Eze's going to be better in the 10 this game. Odegaard's going to be better here. Or I tell you what, he's never going to play him at left 8, boys. And as you said, Dave, you agree with me. I've said, like, you know, when we first started doing this, and Tony will back me up and get the videos up. I think he's just a left 8. That's my personal opinion. And you've got to stick with Eze and certain game states, boys, you know, and he does, you know, he was, as you said, Dave, I'm not hating on Odegaard, and not one of us are. And Tony a little bit. Well, he's, you know what I mean? He's a bit. But
Tony under the bus, he has. He's the old,
you know, but we cannot forget that he was not injured all of last season, and he was not producing it at a top level.
No,
I'm not dissing him, but he wasn't at a top level, boys.
On that point,
from
Wayne,
our captain.
He's had 5 years. Someone actually come out and I was saying to Dave yesterday on our stream.
4 years, but I get he's had 4.
But he's had 4 years to have a crack at it as our captain. Right, we've blown up short every time. We've gone to market, spent good money on Eze, right, to come in and be that guy. I'm sorry, but I think Arteta needs to make a decision, right? Make a good one. And if he is going to interchange him, you change him in that role. You don't just pass Eze out on the left because you don't want to make a decision. I know he's your captain, And a few people have said to me, well, Odegaard's his guy. He's got faith in his guy. He's his captain. But we should be evolving from that now. You got Gabs and Saliba, who I think are more important than Odegaard. Right? Declan Rice is more important than Odegaard.
Yeah.
Them three not being in the squad is detrimental to our title race. No offense, Odegaard not being in the squad, Eze comes in and does a similar job.
Yeah, ain't hurt us as much, has it?
No.
As I say, Tony, 100% right. I personally think he needs to adapt, and Arteta needs to. If he's thinking we're short in midfield, then he needs to stop ducking out of challenges, stop ducking out of headers, and play in the role that will suit the way he plays. In my opinion, he is not that out and out number 10 thing. This team requires a transitional player with Gyökeres. You need someone there, and Gyökeres at times will need that box crashing midfielder, because instead of him putting the ball in the back of the net, he will look for players in the box, and when he's fully fit, he can do that, boys. Ez is that man at the moment.
An example being,
Odegaard's
right?
not.
If the ball, there was moments of the game, the Aston Villa game, when the ball's come out of the box, Odegaard's had a shot, it's just straight out the keeper. Now, the form Eze's in, outside of the box, does he bury one of them?
More than likely.
Yeah. He, as I say, Tone, like you said, I mean, I've said it before. In terms of it won't be shoehorning it. It was at the time players weren't in good form, and I still think at times if he kind of adapts his role a bit, he can be like a Thomas Rosicky type of player from that left if he needed to. But I think this team is crying out for having him in at 10. Like him in Michael Elise, who's now at Bayern. Yeah, they had a fantastic thing. I think it's vitally important that you get them. If you're going to get a Martinelli, let's get them building up a rapport, because again, we've spent quite a bit of money in the summer. I highly doubt, as I've just said, that you're going to, without certain players going, that we're going to be able to get that left winger in. But this team should be built around that, and Odegaard should adapt, and Arteta's got to adapt his role, in my opinion.
Can I just chuck a curveball out there? How many times do Arsenal hang on to players for too long?
Mate,
how often do our players lose value, and we end up buying someone for a certain amount? Chelsea, Liverpool, they always sell them on for a profit. Is it not? Is it, if it ain't going to work with Odegaard and he ain't the man, then surely we got to look at. Hold on a minute, mate. Do we pump you on there? I'm not saying that he will do that, but we should look at this.
Controversial.
We always hang on to players too long, in my opinion.
Tone, the fact is, you have to, as I just said, and David, you're right in that, mate. I've just said it. We're not bashing Odegaard.
No,
we're asking
the
question, as you're right, Dave, because his form last year wasn't good enough, in my opinion. Yeah, he wasn't. He didn't lead by example. This is our captain. The captain of that team for me before he got injured with Gabriel and Declan Rice. Declan Rice, right now this season, he jumped up. Tony hit the nail on the head. For me, I'll put it this way, boys. I think Timber does start, but if you're looking at a core group, because Timber's a fantastic right back, your core players that should start every game fully fit, without a doubt, is Raya, Saliba, Gabriel, Rice. Yeah. There's your four that you're undroppable kind of players. Your players that are been around the squad now, they're undroppable sort of thing. And these players need to stay. Players like Odegaard, you got Subamendi, and I said this before in previous videos that now Subamendi does that dropping deep. Odegaard doesn't need to drop deep. So if he's a number 10, do what Eze does, and as Tony's pointed out, and stay in your position, receive the ball. Subamendi can push forward. Declan Rice can drop. Declan Rice can push forward. Subamendi would dictate from deep, play out to Rice, play out to Saka. There's your dictator in the middle of the pitch now, boys. You don't need Odegaard. Subamendi's your dictator. So Odegaard's got to find his way in that team. And personally, as you said, Dave, if we're going to have my three would be Zubi, Rice, Eze. That's at the moment in time.
I know we're criticising Odegaard on this chat, right? We haven't. By the way, if you just joined him, we haven't criticised him the whole stream. It's just come up with a few talking points. But there was moments in the Aston Villa game where he showed his spark, where he can find a pass through the eye of a needle, right? There was a moment where I think he done a cross pass from going back, like he had the ball and he done like his pass. I don't know what you call it, more of a through ball, but it was like It was like an unexpected through ball that catches the defence out. He's really good at doing that. He's done it once. It's like, come on, where is that?
This
You
is
do more of
Tony,
that.
this
There's
is
going
my
to be no
argument.
debate.
The Emi Martinez is save. He did do a pillow footwear went straight to it, and then he's pulled out a top hand corner. And Martinez he's pulled out a top quality save on that one.
Yeah.
But he just needs to be doing it more on a more consistent basis. This is the problem with him. He's just it's no good doing it once in the pan. You know, you've got to be you've got to be hitting numbers. It's about you've got to put the numbers up.
This is it, mate. And again, Dave, Tony, and in the next stream, don't do it so much now, matey, because obviously, you know, but when you get a bit of time and we do it and we'll discuss sort of like the preview to Wolves, put it up there and you tell me his stats the season prior to last season. He was putting numbers up and we were going toe to toe with City. Now we need a midfielder who's going to put the numbers up again. You know, because we've got to go toe to toe with City again. We may have other teams, but personally, it could be City at the moment, you know, because they're getting away with 115 charges at the moment. So they're going to be challenging us. So we got to deal with that. We've got to deal with what's in front of us. So we need a midfielder who's going to put it up. Is Ødegaard going to return to that? If Ødegaard can show me and show us in this chat and the Gooners in there, then we'll go, all right, fair enough. We hold our hands up. Every one of us in this chat will. I need to see Ødegaard of not last season, the season prior, the assists and the goals. You know, when was the last time you see him shit-ping a ball in the bottom corner and you go, fantastic goal?
Yeah, been a while.
When's the last time? How many times you see it? He was doing it all the time. You're like, here we go. This is my thing, boys, and I'll pass it back to you. But I think in that number 10 role, minimum 10 goals, 10 assists, or the equivalent of 20 goal creations by your number 10. At this moment in time, Ødegaard again is fighting back to fitness, and we understand that. And we're, you know, but Ødegaard didn't produce those numbers last year. We need someone, in my opinion, in that number 10 role is going to put them numbers up, boys.
Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah, I think that's a nice little segue to close the stream off on. What's our prediction, gents? Dave, go on,
Dave, because I've been saying a lot about the number 10 role, mate. You go and you give us up the prediction first, mate.
I think we're due a nice, tasty 0-0 draw. Going to be a great game to watch, boys. Going to be a great 0-0.
No, I think it's going to be a shit fest, but I'll take it. If we rest all the players, I'll take it.
Yeah,
we're going into
all day long, mate. I'll be watching though, even if it is a 0-0. I'll still be going.
I'll be watching. I can't not. I can't not.
It's like a drug. It's like a drug. You have to watch it, boys, don't you? You know.
Yeah, I have to watch the Arsenal. I can't not. I can't switch.
I'll get
off
the.
I'll be
I have
there.
to get the coffee on the go. I think before I watch that.
Couple of matchsticks underneath the islands.
Boys, you know what? I'm more likely to have a bit. Wednesdays where it really starts to peak, and we get a ridiculous amount of parcels, and we just you're fudged basically. So I will be watching that game, and if it's a bore fest, I'll fall asleep sooner than I'll expect.
I'm just gonna say there might not be a reaction video. It'll probably all fucking be a kip.
Yeah. Listen,
there'll always be something to talk about, boys.
Another thing as well is it could be. I reiterate that, Dave, because they're going to have a new coach. Their coach was sacked a couple of days ago, so they're going to have
a new manager.
A new manager. They could, but listen, I'm going to go, Dave, with a score 1-1 I think they'll score, and I think obviously we'll get one back. I think they might end up getting a goal, but I think you're right, boy. It's going to be one of them. But listen, go there. The priority for tomorrow night, boys, give those players who need fitness their chance. Ethan Wanyeri, let's see the boy again. Let's see MLS. These are our boys. These are our future. Let's see them play. And 90 minutes if you can.
Lovely.
I'm going to go with probably a hopeful result of a 3-1 Arsenal win. Where I think if Wanyeri plays, right, he's going to be up for this. And then in them sort of games, you get time. And if he gets a chance to go on his left foot, I reckon he'll score a couple of goals.
He's got it in the bag.
He's hungry as well.
We're all debating about Ødegaard, but let's not forget as well that we've got a boy who like him. We've also got Max Dowman who can play right and number 10. You know, and these boys can be our future. Do you know what I mean? So it's between you could be having in years to come having a Dowman Wanyeri in the 10 and the right wing, you know, or whether it's the left wing. So yeah, this is fight again. I've said it, Tony. Tony would see it in previous videos. Wanyeri needs to take the chance. So fingers crossed you're
Yeah.
right, Tone, because if he needs to play and he needs to take his chance. And I hope Arteta don't go strong, boys. I really do.
And I think
Give these lads
Madueke
a
needs
go.
to. I think Madueke owes
Madueke needs a
us.
full game. Martinelli,
Yeah,
Gyökeres,
yeah,
Ethan, MLS, yeah.
and he owes
Norgard
us
as
a
well.
performance. I think Madueke owes us a performance because the Brentford game we weren't that great. I think he helped with the assist for the first goal, but he wasn't that great. So I think he needs to
No,
get.
he faded,
legs, doesn't
Tone,
he?
and he was asked to do a job when Saka come off against Villa. And again, it's tough to come in. These boys just need you got to realise when
Opportunity
you're
for
out.
Gyökeres as well.
Yeah.
Gyökeres needs to get a goal. I think if he gets a goal in this game, that'd be good as well.
Listen, I would love that. I mean, obviously, if it's 1-1, if it's 3-1, if it's 0-0, but you see good play and good passages of play. But the main thing is, boys, he's going into my FPL in this Saturday because I think if he plays against Wolves and we will be, he's going to have chances galore, and he can score some goals and he can start rack up the confidence. So, but this is vitally important. Give him 67 minutes and then you take him off for Jesus, give Jesus a run out, and we go from there, boys. But listen.
Well, he
As you
might
just said, it's
even start
Arsenal.
because Jesus played in the under-21 game apparently, so
He played
he
in the
might
under
even
21
start him.
for. He did. That's why he didn't play. He weren't in the squad for Villa because Arteta went, look, he's more likely, as you can imagine, thinking, look, he's coming back to fitness, high intensity game. Villa are going to be up for it. Let's play him in the under 21s, getting football. So could be Tone. Listen, I'm all for. I love watching the squad where like in the League Cup. I've said it before. Even the FA Cup, I love to see what the team is, and then I love to see how the other players play. Those players you don't see all the time. The players you think, poor Ethan. Even Wanyeri's been forgotten, and he sort of thing. Like I've forgotten him. So again, I hold my hands up, boys. He's a forgotten player. He needs to play.
Yeah, this has got League Cup vibes, isn't it? This game.
Yeah,
Play it like a League Cup team, boys. That's what I'd say. And obviously the travelling fans as well. I mean, in all due respect, because obviously you do travel a lot. But listen, you're seeing the Arsenal, you're having a good time. There's some lovely Belgian beer you can drink.
They're getting the Eurostar to Belgium, mate. They've probably got the Christmas market, and they're probably whoever's
the
going
Christmas
out.
market is fantastic there, so enjoy that.
Belgium love their Christmas stuff, mate. So I'm pretty
it's
sure
brilliant over there.
Arsenal drawing 0-0 ain't going to bother them too much.
No, get on the Belgian beer and get on the train home.
I'd go as far as saying this game's a free hit, just to rest some players and just take whatever.
Has to be, Tony. Vitally important.
No pressure.
Those players.
No pressure tomorrow.
No pressure. You don't have to win.
But the rival supporters, if we lose this game, Arsenal in the mud. Fuck off. Just go and fuck yourself.
Listen, honestly. I didn't want to extend the stream any further, boys. But to sum it all up in the media, and I'll be as quick as I can. TalkSport, Jeff Stelling. I was loading up my van, right, and whoever had the van prior to me had put TalkSport on. I don't listen to TalkSport, can't stand the show, and it's a newfangled Ford Transit van, and I'm trying to figure out how to turn it off because Jeff Stelling, Jeff Stelling is mugging us off, going, "Oh, Villa, there's an Arsenal, obviously an Arsenal pundit on there who was, all for Arsenal, and he's Jeff Stelling and this other geezer. They just want to take the piss out of us, boys. Is my point." And I wanted to turn it off. And I'm like, you can F off, Jeff Stelling, because you're just there to sell. You're just there to sell your program, mate. So it's the in thing to slag the Arsenal off.
Bonlahor has been pissing me off on.
That's what I'm saying. That's all they're here for.
We bottled it. Aston Villa in a title race. Fuck off, mate. Honestly,
mate, you'll be.
They couldn't score a goal in the first 5 games of the season. Absolutely.
Listen, mate, they're not in a title race. You got good evening Emery. Don't give me you in a title race.
I've secured tickets for the home game on the 30th. I'm going to go there and I'm going to literally be well up for that.
Yeah.
Listen, we need to turn them over. We've had a game where they've caught us on after having a high intensity week. Brentford come to the Emirates, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying they were overly intensive. They rested players as well, but Brentford made it difficult. And it could have been a game where it's at 1-0, Brentford could have got an equaliser, and it would have been, they had that header, didn't they, which you see, Tony, the header from Rao, fantastic save from him.
Good
they were still in it. They could have done it at any time. It's one of them games, potential banana skin, you tie, and then play. We've had a high intensity sort of like last couple of 2 weeks where the games are coming where they're tough, they're bloody tough, So you've expended all that energy, and they caught us off guard. It's like a boxer's tired, and we've been caught. The boxer's been caught with a left hook. He's just caught him out of nowhere. Bang! You've hit the canvas. He's done. Let's reset. We've had a bit of a knockout blow. there's still plenty of time to fight, boys. So let's
Oh,
keep,
loads of
let's do
football
it.
to be played. Loads
Loads of football. And
Right.
again, as well, please ignore people. They're trying to do it. You do not win. You do not win Premier League titles in December, having played 13, 14 games. So everybody can shut up. It's a long season ahead, boys. We've got to keep going. Reset. That's what it's all about.
Sure.
Well, good closing statement. We'll leave it there. Guys, please smash a like on the video. Please subscribe. Leave any comments in the chat. We'll be doing a reaction video tomorrow. Not sure Wayne's going to be with us, but
yeah, I mean, if you boys can
Dave
cover, I'll yeah, I'll be do it. But yeah,
Wayne will be in the land of nods.
busy time.
So,
Yeah,
but yeah, join us tomorrow, guys, after the game. Come on, you Gunners. Have a good evening.
cheers for joining, guys. Take care.
See you later, guys. Have a good evening.